Ag Day is brought to you by Authority Supreme Herbicide from FMC. Learn more at ag.fmc.com.
Cover crops may hold the key to fighting weeds, even during the growing season. Damon Jones of the Georgia Farm Monitor shows us research being done that could help you grow more of your own nitrogen.
It's officially the off-season for Georgia's staple row crops like corn, cotton, and peanuts. However, there is still plenty of work to be done in the fields as growers are encouraged to plant cover crops in order to both maintain the soil quality and manage weeds until planting season rolls around.
So a big benefit that we're seeing out here actually is that we're reducing the amount of weed seeds that actually germinate. And so what happens is we're producing all this biomass and we're seeing, I would say probably about 75% reduction in the number of actual plants that are germinating compared to, say, a bare ground treatment where there's no cover crops at all.
So erosion's a big thing, especially in a lot of places. We have highly erodible soils here in Georgia. And so keeping the ground cover, keeping that soil from disappearing. And we've also noticed that we have a slight increase numerically from increased carbon. And we've got some ongoing research looking into organic matter increases as affected by these cover crops. But one of the things with cover crops, it does take time to see these benefits. You're not going to plant the cover crop and see it happen tomorrow.
While these cover crops, typically cereal rye and crimson clover being the most common, are planted opposite the cash crops during the fall and winter, researchers are working on a living mulch that is grown in tandem with the other row crops. And one of the benefits they've seen should be very interesting to the grower, especially considering the high cost of fertilizer.
What the living mulch is you actually plant it and it grows at the same time as the cash crop. And so the living mulch that we selected is a Durana white clover. And so it creates a decent amount of biomass, not what you would see with cereal rye, but it also fixes its own nitrogen. And so with commodity prices the way they are and the cost of inputs going up, being able to basically grow your own nitrogen is a huge benefit.
However, living mulch isn't ideal for every grower as there is a big investment into both time and water needed for it to succeed.
You need to have the right system setups. It's not for everybody. Moisture, so I also have soil moisture probes, as you can see with these boxes out behind here. So we're actually measuring soil moisture 365 days a year at 10 and 30 centimeters. And so what we're doing is we're trying to keep an eye on what's the soil moisture and how it's affected by the different cover crops, just to kind of get a baseline of what's going on out here. So soil moisture is an important thing to aspect when you're trying to grow, because think about it, you have living mulch growing year round, you have 2 plants, you have higher moisture requirements.
So while cover crops might often be overlooked, it's just another way farmers can improve their bottom line.
My approach to cover crops is that it's another tool in the toolbox.
Reporting from Oconee County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.